Welcome back, guys. So if you want to see me go from this to this, stay tuned and get ready with me for this makeup, hair, and outfit transformation. So first things first, with our makeup, we're going to be using primer, of course. My Morphe Foundation Primer, really great for minimizing the appearance of my pores. I put this all over my face because it really does help smooth out any imperfections. Next, of course, trying to control our pores, the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I really love this because just like the Morphe primer, it really does give me a smooth application for my foundation. So I apply this all over my face. And my favorite, the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. Perfect #1 primer for oily skin girls. Even though it leaves a little bit of a white looking residue on your face after you apply it, it's perfectly fine. You just tap it into your skin, making sure to get the areas that you get oily the most, and you won't even be able to tell under your primer. Sorry, under your foundation. Next, we're going in for my eyebrows. So I just brushed them out with my spoolie, and now I'm underlining my brow, just trying to give it the shape that I am looking for. And it's okay if it comes out crazy or chunky, anything like that. Guess what? It's makeup. It can easily be fixed and redone or adjusted. I just use my concealer to just help me outline the shape that I'm looking for. So if it is you want to see an eyebrow routine, I recently did one for beginners especially. It's really easy. So I'm just dipping my angle brush into my concealer and I'm carving out the shape of the brow that I want. So it's okay if you hardly have any brows. It's really, really easy to do this. And I know brows scare a lot of people and make you feel like if you cannot do your makeup just because your brows may not be perfect. But guess what? Brows are sisters and not twins. And it's okay if they do not look exactly the same. Right? So here, as you can see, I'm outlining my brows to give me the shape that I want. And I'm also applying that concealer as my eyeshadow base. This is the LA Girl Cool Tan Concealer. My absolute favorite. I also use this to highlight the high points of my face. Okay, so you just outline them to get your shape that you want, and you'll be good to go. The 3 things you need most when you're doing your eyebrows are concealer, your, of course, eyebrow pomade or pencil, and of course, your brush. Once you have these 3, you're just going back and forth with your spoolie and you should not have any problem. Next, my favorites, the Kat Von D foundation in the shade medium 64 and my Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation in the shade cinnamon. These 2 together give me the most flawless foundation application ever. I love them. Because my goal when applying makeup, especially if I'm going for a really full-on beat, is to look as flawless as possible. So I'm just spraying a little bit of my Gerard Cosmetics mattifying spray in the shade Peach on my sponge. This is my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. And I'm applying this onto my face to apply my foundation. Now, one really great tip, I would advise, instead of using water on your beauty tool when you're applying your foundation, use a mattifying spray, especially for my oily girls. This will make so much of a difference in your foundation application. It gives you so much of a very more refined matte look, because of course that's what we're going for when you're an oily girl, of course. So you're just easily tapping that into your skin and it gives you a very seamless look. So you're just going back and forth, making sure to properly spread that foundation and blend it into your skin. And now we're going into my favorite LA Girl Pro Concealer. You'll have seen this in like nearly all of my videos. So this is what I use to highlight the high points of my face with, under my eyes, my nose, forehead, and chin. And a trick that I use to get the most amount of coverage and the best look is that I allow my concealer to get a little bit tacky. So I leave it under my eyes for like about 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes. And then I blend it out with my beauty tool. And this gives me so much of a difference in my look. So I'm blending it out right now. So I just flipped around my Miracle complexion sponge from Real Technique, sorry. Blending it out, making sure to get all those creases and lines under my eyes. Now I'm doing my nose, of course, forehead and chin. So you just take your time and blend, 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 making sure to press this into your skin because we're trying to get it as seamless as possible. That's the goal with makeup, especially for oily girls. Seamless, flawless, clean, properly blended. That's our goal. So I'm setting it now with my Sasha Cosmetics setting powder. So the way that I set my makeup when I'm going for a full-on beat is that I apply my powder twice. So I make sure and I press it in gently into my skin, and of course setting my eyeshadow base, which is my concealer for my eyeshadow. So I set it in twice with that powder, and then I bake. So baking is just you putting the same powder that you would have used to highlight with and leaving it on there while you do the rest of your makeup. Trust me, it works. So we're using the Good Sport ColourPop Cosmetics palette, going into that warm brown shade. This is going to be our first transition shade. We're just going back and forth, windshield wiper motions, you know the drill. So we're just going back and forth with that. Next, into our dark brown shade. This is going to be defining our crease. So we're just laying low right in our crease. We're not going any further. We have already had that brown first transition color. So we just need to outline our crease and define it with the dark brown color. So we're going back and forth, and don't worry, you don't need to pack a lot. You just swirl it around in the color and then tap off the excess and then get into the crease. Now into that wonderful burgundy shade. I love this shade. So I'm just aiming to get this on my outer third of my eye, on my lid, and I'm just dragging it a little bit inwards, not too much because we don't want it to come even to the middle of our eye. We're just trying to stick on the outer third of our lid. So we're just going back and forth, dipping in, not putting plenty, we're just blending it in there. Outer third on both eyes. Yes. You know, when the colors blending, you just get so excited. Yep, that's the way I feel. So we're just blending back and forth, making sure that we're just giving that color on the outer third of our eyes. Next, we're doing a cut crease. I'm using the same angle brush that I use to define or outline my eyebrows. So a cut crease is basically a half of a moon eyeshadow look. So we're just outlining your crease. We're not going any higher. We're just going up until the outer third, that burgundy color peeking out at the side there. We're just taking it up until there, and now we're going into our lid shade, which is this light gold shade, champagne color. So we're just tapping it onto our eyes with this flat brush. This is all you need. You can also use your fingers if you feel more comfortable with that. Nothing is wrong with that. So we're just tapping it in with our flat brush. Tap, 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 making sure to leave the outer third of our eye with that burgundy color peeking through. So now we're finished with the eyes for now, and sweeping off that baking powder, our Sasha Cosmetics Buttercup powder. So we're sweeping it off because we've baked enough. Now into our Huda Beauty loose setting powder. This is what I'm going to be using to set the rest of my face that was not highlighted. I love this powder because it is so flawless. Oh my gosh, the coverage is also really great. Really, really great. It may be on the pricey side, but it's definitely worth it. You can also use as a substitute the Black Opal Beauty powders. Those are also great. Now I'm outlining my eyes, and I'm adding a little bit more of the burgundy shade on my waterline just to give me more of a smoked out look. Nothing major, just a little pop of color underneath our eyes. So I'm using my pencil brush, a very thin pointed brush like a pencil, to underline this color under my eyeliner. Now I'm giving myself a little bit of a wing. This is my Caramia Cosmetics Jet Black Pencil Liquid Liner. Very easy to use. I love it because it goes over so smooth, over glitter, over regular eyeshadows. It's really, really good, and it's affordable. For all my Trini babes, you can collect this at Pennywise. So I'm just giving myself a little bit of a wing. Making sure and outlining my eyes. And now into my favorite mascara, the Maybelline Big Shot Mascara, because we're not using any falsies today. So I just want to make sure and give myself that lash appeal. And this mascara is great. Makes you look like if you're actually wearing falsies. Now into the ColourPop Cosmetics Luxe Lipstick in the shade On Repeat. This color is poppin' and wow. Really beautiful, really bright. Next, I'm giving myself a little bit of an inner corner highlight with that same champagne color. And don't worry, the names of the shades will be in the description box below. Guys, please check the description box. It has everything you need to know. Now we're into the contour. So I'm just giving myself a little bit of a slimified cheek look. And of course, to get that chin, giving myself a little bit of a shape on my nose. Back and forth. And a tip that I like to use when I'm trying to give myself more of a chiseled look under my cheeks is I take some of my Sacha Buttercup powder and I just outline it underneath the contour line. That gives me more of a sharp, crisp look for my contour, and it makes me look a little bit slimmer in the face. So now we're into our highlight. I'm using Boomin' from ColourPop Cosmetics collaboration with Makeup Shayla. I love this because it is just amazing, especially in sunlight or bright lights. It looks absolutely smooth and it just gives you that really bomb highlight look. Ah, look at that. I love highlight. So yes, you can achieve a glowy skin finish with oily skin like myself, because I'm an oily girl, but you cannot tell from this because I look super matte and glowy where I want to be. Yes.